Although we've come to the end of the road, and still I can't let go. No, I actually absolutely can't let go. This year probably couldn't leave fast enough. 2024 was a doozy. But guess what, y'all? Happy New Year's. We're almost there. I feel like this year gave me public defender treatment, right? You know that one Drewski skit where they're like, he's like, good news, your payment came through. Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara. If you hear some whining in the background, it's my puppy. He's sad because he got banished to the crate, but he just be doing a little bit too much when I start recording. He gets a little bit too hype. He thinks he has a little bit too much free reign, and I gotta put the iron fist down. You're going to your crate with your big comfy bed. But anywho, this year like took me through the ringer in many ways. I don't feel, it's not one of those years where I'm just like, oh, I feel defeated or something. Like, I don't feel defeated. I feel like, okay, that year was a doozy, but I feel like the year actually lit a fire under my ass to be like, girl, what we gonna do? Like, you know that clip from Lil Women Atlanta with I think it's Miss Minnie and Juicy, and she's like, so what we gonna do now? That's how I feel like 2024 treated me. Like, it was a lot of stuff like, okay, you don't even, what's going on? But I feel like, I feel a lot of, I feel like it was a stepping stone. I don't know, maybe that's wisdom, the wisdom that comes with age, but I honestly don't feel like the year was that bad. Like, I've had some years where I'm like, I cannot wait for this to be over. I never want to see this year again. This was the worst year of my life. I hated it. And this year I was just like, okay. I feel like this was the first year that maybe I have truly been out of postpartum, where I was truly like, okay, I gained weight since I had kids. Who cares? Like, I'm still me. I don't have the disposable income that I once had. Okay, cool. I'm still me. Like, I still felt like myself through and through. And what I felt at the end of everything was, so what do we do next to make sure that you don't feel like this again, instead of wallowing in self-pity? I don't know. I think we call that growth in some places. But I was trying to decide, like, what do I want to talk about with you guys? Because I was like, okay, we can go the glow up content route, right? Where we're talking about like how to make 2025 the best year of your life. And I'm like, I need a lot of glowing up my damn self to be telling y'all how to glow up. And then I was like, I don't know. I feel like that content's a little bit oversaturated. Not that I don't absorb it. There are a few people I subscribe to that I really enjoy their content, and I think it can be useful. But overall, I just feel like there's so much of that. And I was like, I don't want to be disingenuous. And one of my biggest things with bringing this podcast back was like, I'm going to give the content that I want to give you. I'm not going to look to the left and look to the right and see what other people are talking about. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about with you, and the people who mess with me and who listen to my podcast and who care about what I have to say, because who am I but a vessel, right? They're gonna rock with me because the content that I give them is the content that they want. That's what I really had to learn, especially in this content. Listen, I wash my hair if you're watching, and I can feel it puffing up under the light. But one of the things that I've had to learn in my dibbles and dabbles in the content space is you have to give people the content you want to give them, because the content that you give them is what they want. When you try to give them the content that you think is hot right now, that's just one-offs. That's one-offs. You can't, that's not stuff that you're passionate about or stuff that you are well versed in, that you can really talk about. And it makes this whole process so much harder than it has to be. That's why I haven't really been talking a whole lot about pop culture. I am going to talk about some pop culture today, right? Because another thing, I was like, oh, maybe I could do a recap and like do a rundown of 2024 and things that happened in pop culture. But then I was like, so much shit happened in 2024 that I can't even remember it, nor do I have the bandwidth or care to like go find it all. So I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff that stood out to me, but I'm like, I don't know. I've been kind of disconnected from pop culture in the way that I once was because, listen, I'm a media junkie and I do, of course, like to know what's going on. But I told you, I unfollow the Shade Room. I unfollow Neighborhood Talk. I don't really subscribe to the blogs anymore. So I really don't be knowing what's going on. And then when I get on the app formerly known as Twitter, it's a whole bunch of like biases and reporting things. So I just am like, I don't have it to give. And I also think after the election, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I got into a little bit of a depression. It's been, I'm coming out of it now, like I'm getting back to where I was, but like for a minute I felt a little bit hopeless, and I was trying so hard to combat that, like, because as a Black woman, like, I know I have to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make it through. It's fine. But it was just kind of nerve-wracking to be like, dang, we have made zero progress in how people feel about us. Like, none. And I had to come to the realization that we probably never will, because that's literally the foundation of this country. And it made me sad. And I haven't listened to any podcasts, like pop culture podcasts, since then. I haven't really been interested in hearing anybody's opinion. I've listened to like some interview podcasts, but I just had to take a step back. Had to take a step back from true crime. Can't even listen to that. My anxiety is already bad. I just, like I said, this was a year. But it was a year where I'm like, okay, how do we shake and move to get different results than what we get now? Because what we get now ain't gonna cut it. The things about 2024 is I brought back this podcast. Woo, yay, everybody clap. I think this one is applause. Y'all tell me if it's not applause. I can't hear it. I didn't want to put in headphones, so I really can't hear what it's doing. But I brought this podcast back and I started my YouTube journey. I can now say at the time it is December 29th. I have 18 followers or subscribers. So we're really getting somewhere. And I love all 18 of y'all, for real. I also got my first hate comment today. Right? If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. But it's really not too much to be happy about. It was just like a maggot, a Trump hard. They were mad about what I said about Mississippi Valley State and not going to the inauguration. And it was someone who was obviously not white. I mean, not Black. They were probably white. They seem Latino by the name. They were telling me that I was jealous and that Trump has done more for Black people than any other president. And that's really my favorite talking point from MAGA, is when they're like, he's done more for Black people than anyone else. And it's like, dang, it's crazy that I've been Black my whole natural born life. And I don't feel the effects of anything that Trump has done for me in a good way. So, but you know, they're like, do your research. Thank you so much. I will research on Black people and the benefits that they have had under Trump. Thank you. You telling me to research Trump's, no pun intended, Trump's my lived experience. Thank you so much. But I was very happy. I was like, that means that my content is getting out there a little bit. So we'll see. I'm gonna put a pin in that, right? I will, at this time, before we go into the new year, I have 18 subscribers. So at the end of the year next year, let's see how many subscribers on YouTube I have. Let's see what I can do with this whole content creation thing. But other than that, like I said, I do want to kind of talk about pop culture. I also kind of just want to talk about this year, some of the ups of my year. Let's end it on a positive note. I mean, I don't know what y'all are doing for New Year's. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be in somebody's club. I probably need to be in somebody's church, right? I haven't gone to a watch night service since I was probably in high school. But I'm going to the club. Got the club going up on a Tuesday, because New Year's Eve is on a Tuesday. I'm not feeling these middle of the week holidays. I do not like it, but I'm gonna be there kicking it. I'm going OT. I think I'm gonna do tomorrow. I think the 30th. I'm gonna go into my prayer closet and, basically talk to God and speak and manifest. I did, even though I say glow up content is a little bit oversaturated, I did do like a bingo card. I saw that idea instead of doing like a vision board, doing a bingo card. So I did do that, and I can link y'all to it if y'all want to make your own. I know some people are selling them, but girl, I went on Canva, okay? So if you want it, just let me know. Hit me up, because we're all going to get better next year. 2025 is our year, right? Been saying that for the last 25 years. But definitely some things need to change. And I'm with the bingo card thing, I'm like, what happens when I get bingo? I have to look a little bit into that. Like, what do I reward myself with if I get bingo? Do I just have satisfaction and gratitude? But hey, if I get bingo on my cards, that's gonna come with some money. Some money for sure. So I guess that will be the reward. I also probably need to be under somebody's table eating some green grapes and wearing some red lace panties. Because I don't know if y'all heard about that. It was really big last year. And I think the last couple years it was really big on TikTok. It's a Spanish tradition, or at least it originated in Spain. And it's pretty popular in other Latin countries, where you basically are supposed to go under the table at midnight. And you eat, I believe they specify green grapes. When I heard about it, now I can't really find too much about it because I feel like that content is oversaturated. But when it first was popping, they said you needed green grapes. You're supposed to eat 12 of them. It's like for every tick of the clock. So you're supposed to eat 12 for that. Basically eat all 12 of them by 12:01. And I'm not sure with the lace panties. I think it has something to do with love. Right? And it's funny, if y'all have done it and if you actually got love from doing it, let me know. It's been funny though. A lot of people said they met demons. They summoned demons of men by doing that. A lot of people, the churchy people are like, that's witchcraft. We not playing with that. And I mean, it is a little woo-woo, but I'm kind of a woo-woo bitch. I'm not a practitioner. I don't dibble and dabble, but hey, listen. I don't think it's that deep though. I really think it comes down to what you believe in manifesting, and the faith that you have in the situation. But I was like, maybe I need to do that this year, because maybe I can be under the table at the club, because my love life, I can't even do a dating rap for y'all. I can't. I think I went on 3 dates this entire year. But dating as a single mom, that's a whole other topic though, because I don't really have time to date because of the age that my children are. It's just so many things surrounding it. So their age, right? I have to be in the house with them. It's not like I can go out without getting a babysitter. So and let's just be real. A lot of these men aren't going to step up and pay for a babysitter. So whatever. So that's one issue with it. Then it's like I have fear around dating, because I'm like, okay, what if I take somebody seriously, and then how does that go with my children and having them around my children, because I don't want to just have random men around my children or introduce them to my children. So basically, could I date without introducing them to my children? How does that work? I have to understand and how to navigate that. I need to talk to somebody who is a single mom who got married. I think that'll be another episode. A single mom who got married, and how did you navigate dating while having a child, right? Because it's just rough. And then before all of that, before we even get into dating and having them around your kids, the dating pool. The dating pool is, child, just womp, womp, womp. I mean, meeting men, it's like, okay, where do I meet men? You can meet them out when you go outside, but I don't know, that'd be, because depending on where you meet them, like if you meet them at the club, you already know where this is probably going, right? You meet them a friend of a friend, or because Cleveland is that type of city where it's like, oh, this is my homeboy's cousin, or like this is my homegirl's boyfriend's brother. Like it's a lot of that. So it's just it's hard to even meet men, I feel like, who are single. And when you meet a man, you'll like him and he'll be married. Like, what are you even doing in the dating pool, boo? Get your ass the fuck on. Like, it's just so much. But that is going to be on my bingo card. I'm going to try to date more. And I'm not trying to be out here outside, because I've noticed the difference between me and some of my friends who have been in relationships for many, many years, and how they're treating outside. I don't really want to treat outside like that, because I don't really need to. I've been outside long enough. I'm cool on that. I really do actually want something genuine and serious, and I just feel like it's hard to get it. And the men that I have connected with, because let's be real, a lot of these men can't even hold a conversation. And I'm not going to say all men, because I don't date women. It might be the same way on the women's side too, but I can only speak to the men that I have dealt with. A lot of them cannot hold conversation. It's like pulling teeth, right? Like even a text conversation, like we're not even on the phone, right? And I get it if you're not I'm a yapper, right? I like to talk, I like to bounce things off of you, right? So it's very easy for me to have a phone conversation and to talk for hours, right? If I'm locked in and we're having a good conversation, I will talk to you for 5-6 hours and it's nothing. But a lot of these men can't even text, let alone good FaceTime phone call conversations. You'll be like, hey, they'll be like, hey, what you doing? And you'll be like, oh, nothing, I'm at work. What are you doing? Chilling. Okay, one word response. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, how was your day? It was cool. Won't even say like, how was your day? They'll just be like, it's cool. Okay, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Oh, okay. What you got going on later? Nothing for real. Okay. Did you eat today? Yeah, I ate. Okay, are you interested? Like, and I am such a yappity yapper. I will set men up for the play. They'll be like, yeah, I'm about to go watch the game at XY bar. And I'm like, oh, I've heard of that bar. I've never eaten there. Oh, you should go. Okay. All right. So it's just like, but I know that I know you're out there somewhere. Okay. And I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you one way or another. I'm going to find you. Okay. I'm going to find you. That's on my bingo card. Manifesting. Amen. Outside of my love life, we're going to take, I think it's time to, at 30, admit I cannot eat whatever I want to eat. I never could. I've never been a bitch who could eat anything she wanted. But now it's getting out of hand. Is anyone concerned about their health? I think I'm gonna do a sobriety journey. And right now I'm not gonna say I'm never drinking again, but I think that me and alcohol need to go our separate ways. Now, don't get it twisted. I will not be raw dogging life, right? I still have my edibles. I still have my ganja. But I think me and alcohol, we need to go our separate ways. I gotta find my own way. I don't know. I'm in a musical ass mood today because I'm doing a lot of singing. But yeah, I think we're gonna cut out the alcohol. I think I'm gonna find a sobriety app and shit. Let me get a deal. Let me get some money. I'm gonna find a sobriety app. I'm not an alcoholic that needs to go to AA. That's a little I don't know if you've ever been like, oh, I need to stop drinking, and then you think about AA. That gets a little spooky. Oh, okay, you're really fighting for your life. I'm don't want to wake up. with a headache. I don't know. So it's not that deep, but I do want to get like a sobriety app or something just so I can track how many days, you know, without alcohol, and really just, you know, log it and journal it and that whole thing, which I might make more content about that later on in the year, you know, just depending on how my journey goes. I also am starting off the year, I'm doing a week of raw food, which I've done it before, I think a couple years ago, where I only eat raw food. I'm only gonna do 5 days because it's just very hard. Because raw food, that means no cooking. Like, you can't even eat sauteed spinach or broccoli. Like, you have to eat it raw. Now, it does make you feel a lot better when you only consume raw foods, but realistically, like, when it comes to diet, that's one of the other big things that I learned. You have to do shit that's sustainable, because if not, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, and you're gonna fall off of doing what you were doing, right? But nonetheless, I'm gonna do my whole raw food thing, and I will take you on a journey with that, probably on my shorts. I might do a vlog. I'm gonna try to get into vlogging, but I don't want like my YouTube, I feel like, will be separate from my podcast. It is part of my podcast, but I also want to do fun content too, right? Like days in the life, mommy vlogs and stuff, but I don't want to be married to that content, because I feel like vlogs can get boring. They can. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, I don't want to be niche, right? I don't want to. That's why I've been very, very intentional. And mommy said a bad word. This is about mommy. This is a dictatorship. This is not about everybody else, because everybody else takes up so much of my time in life. Mommy said a bad word is about me, and I don't want my content to become a family page. It is not. But me being a mother is a big part of who I am and what I want to give people and build a community and connect with people on. So I'm all about finding that balance. So yeah, I'll definitely bring people along for that journey. But this year, pop culture recap. This is just stuff that stuck out to me that I remember happened this year. Some of this stuff I didn't even remember happened this year, because I feel like so much stuff happened in such a short amount of time, which it wasn't a short amount of time. It was 12 months, but I don't know. The news cycle is so fast that I think that's why I have been feeling disconnected from pop culture, because I'm like, what? How can one even keep up with this? But okay, let's get into it. So starting off the year strong, my girl Megan Thee Stallion dropped Hiss. That's when I knew that the year was gonna be some shit. When she dropped Hiss and the reaction to Hiss. Let me just say, she started the year off strong because female rap dominated this year. Female rap dominated the hip hop space, and of course nobody's going to give them their 10s the way that they should, but it definitely dominated. Between who all went on tour? Nicki went on tour, Megan went on tour. I saw Nicki on tour, I saw Megan on tour. Glorilla was with Megan, Doja Cat, Doechii. I even think Ice Spice was on tour, Latto was on tour, Sexy Red was on tour, and I don't really care how y'all feel about them. They was doing a big one this year. Like, you don't have to subscribe to them or really fuck with them, but they did their big one this year for sure. Cardi had a baby. She didn't release the album. But her baby is beautiful. Congratulations to her. Her and Offset, I think in the last couple weeks, they're still arguing. No album though. But everyone else, their fan bases were definitely fed. I'm not Barty Yang, so I mean, whatever. But I did like her first project that came out almost 10 years ago. It was really good. Haven't heard from her since, except like features and singles, but would love another project from her because the first one was good. I would love to see her do it again. But anyway, Megan dropped Hiss, and it was basically her addressing her haters, right? And there was a line called about Megan's Law, which Megan's Law is about registered sex offenders, right? So she said, these hoes that don't be mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's Law. Someone said that they took that personal. They let us know that they took that personal. I think because of the fact that their husband is a registered sex offender, and that was the Nicki Minaj. Let's just call a spade a spade. She crashed out. She crashed out behind it. And the thing is, I'm an OG Barb. An OG Barb. I still like Nicki Minaj as a musician, right? I did go and see her in Gag City, and I enjoyed myself. A lot of people had negative things to say, but I quite enjoyed myself. I thought it was a fun concert. I thought she did a good job. But when it comes to the fan base and associating with being a Barb, I had to officially take a fucking step back at that point, because I said, oh my gosh, this is scary. We have officially arrived at being delusional. And I don't agree with being delusional, even when it comes to your faith. I don't agree with being delusional. We have to know when it's like, this ain't the way to go about it. And I think because of the internet and because of stan culture, people have lost the ability to hold their faves accountable and be like, okay, this is messy. This is messy, right? That's when I officially had to tap out, because Nicki went on a rant for like 7 days, right? And then she dropped Bigfoot, which Bigfoot, according to Variety, was one of the worst songs of 2024. And I can't agree more, because the thing is, I don't mind rap beef. I don't mind battling, right? But the thing with that was, you went on this rant and told us everything that you was going to say in the song, babe. It was a spiral. It was a spiral song. And I couldn't get jiggy with that. And it's like, it wasn't, I don't know, Young Money had a fucking year. Okay? It was the spiral of Young Money. 2010, Mindy, right? Junior, what was I? Sophomore going into junior year, would never, ever think that this would have been the type of year for YMCMB that it was. Because YMCMB were my goats for many, many years. And over time, I've been like, I have been side-eyeing them a little bit, but they were my goats for many years. Drake, we'll get to that. Lil Wayne, we'll get to that too. But yeah, the Bigfoot, and then she said she had the other diss tracks. She has 6 diss tracks. Why didn't we hear them? And then the Barbs, the Barbs are talking about, oh, she was trolling with Bigfoot. Clearly, whatever that's when I was saying we got into the area of delusion. I have to separate myself. Unfortunately, the Barbs had a hard year in 2018, right? In 2018, I definitely think it was some funky shit going on towards Nicki, for sure. That was when Cardi B hit the scene, and I have thoughts about that. Clearly, if you picking up what I'm throwing down, I have thoughts about that, and I'll make that a separate video, right? Because everybody, that opened up, when Cardi hit the scene, that opened up a space for women rappers who are not hip hop. Hot take. Take fuego. Okay? But it did, and I feel like a lot of the Barbs have not moved past that. And now, when we have women rappers who are hip hop, they still think it's 2018, and it's not. It's not, babe. It's not. But moving on from that. Actually, let's talk about Drake. Kendrick got on Drake's ass. That we want to get into the whole timeline. It started with all the dogs, with the J. Cole verse and the Big Three. Kendrick came back on Like That with Future and Metro Boomin. Motherfuck the Big Three, nigga. It's just Big Me, nigga. Boom, right? J. Cole came back and said something, then he backed out. Yeah, he backed out. Then I believe Drake did release a song, right? he released another song. Yeah, this was about April, because I remember, because I was coming back from Chicago and I was in the airport when this happened, because then Rick Ross dissed him too, which that was so random. It wasn't a bad diss track, but I had forgot all the people that dissed him. Then Kanye hopped in and and dissed him. It was like all these people were dissing Drake, but then Kendrick really came for the kill, and he dropped Euphoria, and then of course we got Meet the Grams, Not Like Us, and I think it was one more. But Euphoria was really okay, he took the gun and he aimed it sideways, right? He took it from here to here, right? Then Drake did release Family Matters, which I liked Family Matters, but not even an hour later, that's when he dropped Meet the Grams. And then after that, he dropped Not Like Us. And that's when he said, nigga, boom, right? And he really hasn't been able to shake that one. I believe now isn't Drake coming against Universal, saying that they inflated the project with the lawsuit, whatever. Nigga, when I was in Costa Rica, a white man from Wisconsin asked me to play that on my speaker at the pool. They weren't inflating streams, baby. It was really that big of a song. That was the song of the summer. Then, Kendrick Lamar had the Pop Out, which was on Amazon Prime. And he played that song 19 times, right? It was on June 19th, right? Which is Juneteenth. He played it probably 19 times. Then he got the Super Bowl, which that made Lil Wayne spiral, because for some reason, Lil Wayne thought that he was going to get the Super Bowl. Have y'all seen Lil Wayne lately? And it's sad, because he was once my GOAT. Even though looking back on it, his rap skill is undeniable, but he's always been problematic. Long as my bitch love me. Long as my bitch love me. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was going to get it, so that caused the uproar, even though, why would he get it just because it was in New Orleans? And then he had his little Louisiana fest, and look the fuck a mess. So sorry, I heard a noise. So what okay, what are you proving here? They lost me. All of Cash Money lost me with that. That caused another Nicki rant, which also played into the downfall of Jay-Z from the Barbs, because then Nicki started saying that Jay-Z was in cahoots to end. She basically insinuated Jay-Z was in cahoots to end Wayne, and that's why he didn't get the NFL gig for the Super Bowl. Then what else happened with that? Oh yeah, she said Tidal didn't pay her. She didn't get her Tidal payout. What else? I don't know. That's when we really saw the Barbs amp it up against Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? Because I've noticed that. And one thing about it, if you've listened to any of my content, Beyonce is my queen. So once you go against the queen, the true queen, not the self-proclaimed one, I have to back off you. But let's see. Megan Thee Stallion had her tour this year. Like I said, I did go to Gag City too. Had a great time. Megan Thee Stallion also had a tour. She was really selling out arenas. I was there. The hoes was outside. She brought the hoes out. Megan brought the hotties out. And the thing with Megan that I like about Megan, she brings out all different types of hoes. She brings out the anime hoes. She brings out the hood hoes. She brings out the country hoes. She brings out the city hoes. It was very fun to watch. Then she brings out the young hoes. She brings out the old hoes. It was really fun to watch. Let's see, what else happened? Y'all remember Risa Tisa? Who the Fuck Did I Marry? That series on TikTok. That happened. Oh my gosh, that feels like an eternity ago. But that was in January or February, I believe. Yeah, because I was still at my last job, so that had to be like January or February. That was crazy. That's how I feel every day with you niggas. Who the fuck am I talking to? Y'all niggas be lying. But I will say in that situation, it was some like, girl boo. You know better. Oh my gosh. Is it that windy outside? That's why I was looking earlier, like, what is that noise? Guess it's that windy outside. Yeah, I'm about to cozy up. But let's see what else. Oh, we were talking about Risa Tisa. Who the fuck did I marry? Legion. That's a lot of you Legions out there. What else? Oh, Diddy, the diddler. Diddy got indicted. He's in jail. Yeah, that was crazy. The video footage of Cassie came out, and that's what makes all of these like allegations against Jay-Z like hard for me to completely dismiss, even though the shit's not adding up from what I can tell. But people will say Cassie was looking for a cash grab, and then the footage of him whooping her ass in the telly in the hotel came out. My poor baby Cassie has suffered at the hands of the diddler. And then so much stuff about him came out in his freak offs, and woo, child, lock his ass up. You're going to jail. That happened. What else happened this year? I feel like we had the first Black woman president nominee like make it to the finals, right? Not the first ever to do it. A lot of people say she's not Black. I say where? She's obviously a biracial woman. But she did not win. Trump won, and now his supporters are in my comments. That was depressing though. That was depressing. I really, that's when I realized social media is a echo chamber, because I really thought she was gonna win. I underestimated the racism of white people, because they was really on the internet talking about, oh, well, we can't pay for gas and we can't buy cheese slices. But then I see y'all getting all these damn candles the other day at the semi-annual sale. So somebody's lying. I know who is lying. What else happened? I just had to look at an article to like see what else happened. I forgot about the Hawk Tuah girl. She like made hella money. That's crazy. Hawk Tuah, cause baby, I got some friends who are to a hawk on that dick. So it's crazy that got her a podcast. Ooh, that's why I had to get back in my content bag. Like, damn, bitch, you got that off of that? Yeah, okay. Very demure, very mindful happened this year. Let's see. Oh, Beyonce did Cowboy Carter, released Cowboy Carter. I forgot. It almost feels like that was so long ago. Ozempic, 2024 was the year of Ozempic. You know what? Let's leave it at this, because I am not going to go down the pop culture rabbit hole when I really am not feeling it. Like I said at the beginning, the content I give you is the content I want to give you, and that is the content you want. So let's keep it fun. Let's keep it fresh and leave it there. I wish you a happy 2025. I pray that your 2025 is filled with abundance, blessings, lessons, wisdom. I pray that your pockets are overflowing. I pray that your children have all of their needs met. I pray that you are just fulfilled. I pray that it's never too late to take a turn, to make a pivot. I pray that it is the year of consistency. It's the year of accountability. And accountability, the only person you have to be accountable to is yourself and to God or your higher power, whoever you believe in. Those are the only two people you have to be accountable to. If you have children, you do have to be accountable to them too. But at the end of the day, you ain't got to be accountable to no niggas online saying women don't take accountability. You don't have to be accountable to nobody but to God and yourself. So make decisions, make choices that at the end of your life, you are going to say, I honored myself, I honored my ancestors, and I honored my higher power. And to that I say, the 2024 season is a wrap. Sayonara.